So for those of you that don't know me, I am Abby Johnson. I'm the student accounts person / admin / when something goes wrong, I usually get a text message. So, what?
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. And I'm going to introduce Mr. Buster Parente, who is our president of the board. He's going to give us a heads up of what's going on.
Okay. Thanks for being there anyway. Good. I'm more behind the scenes kind of guy, so I'm more comfortable back there. So if I stumble, forgive me, you know. So let me begin by saying feel like we're. You know how a cat gets all collected before they jump? That's how us on the board feel. It's just things are just getting ready to go somewhere, and God only knows where, but it's going somewhere. As evidence of things going and going better is actually these two right here. Karen especially, and she just came on board. However many people were in Mystery Christmas before this last year. Did you notice how much better it was this year? That's Karen right there.
Well,
And both of them, yeah, but she's how many times have you done it? 14, 15 times you did Nutcracker?
oh, back in New England,
Yeah.
not here.
Yeah, right, but
Mystery
you've done
was
it how
my
many
first,
times?
yeah. I don't know how many times back there I've done it.
Yeah, over a dozen. So that's part of what is going, is we just feel that basically God sent, really, you know. And I've been on the board for 2-3 years, been president, taken over from Doug about 4 or 5 months ago. So basically, I want to compliment everybody for their Mystery Christmas thing. When I look at something like that, I'm a people watcher, watching people watch, and I look at the back row and all the kids and everybody in the back row, the smile was there. They were all just engaged. And that's just everything from the teachers to Miss Liz to everybody. And so it's a compliment to all you guys. It really went well. A couple of the things that I've heard, I was at every performance except the school performance. And I was saying last night to people, the biggest compliment I got from just hearing people as they left, watching people, you know. 2 guys were walking and they were just really just smiles and everything. And they say, one of them says, wow, I didn't know what to expect. It was just great. And the other guy says, yeah, it's the best kept secret in Kansas City. And that's really pretty cool. You know? And so as part of our moving forward, we need everybody to word of mouth, advertise, that's the best, you know. And part of the new change is our lease here is up in April of 2020. We don't know if we're going to be able to move somewhere. We hope either this gets upgraded or we move somewhere that's a little bit better shopping center. You know, we would like to buy. We don't know. It's a work in progress. So if you hear of anything available, I don't know if anybody knows realtors or whatever, we need about 10,000 square feet. That way we can increase our black box, seat more people and stuff. And by the way, that black box is pretty cool, I think. So it's pretty neat around here. That's basically about it. Keep us in your prayers. Anything else you can think of that?
Well, Buster and I have had the opportunity to start going out and looking actually at buildings. Just going on, looking at what's around the area. We're looking mostly, staying in Missouri, looking in the southern part of Kansas City. We don't want to get too far from here, but at the same time we want to look at what's available to us. Yes, it would be better if we could find something that is for sale that we can afford, or something we can rent and then eventually buy ourselves. We're looking, like we said, 10,000 square feet. We would like to have a place where we can have enough studios in there, office building, or office place storage, even a black box theater, or even bigger than that, where we have our own stage. Right now, for instance, we'll be talking about Avila, where we did Mystery. It has doubled as far as what we were going to have to pay for rent for next year. So we're putting out a lot of money every time we have to do a show. The show that's coming up now, just the spring one, we had a 3-day, we had to cut it down to 2-day just because of the prices. So everything like that, we're looking at how can we best use the funding that's coming in, and where the Lord wants to take us. That for sure. Number 2 is we definitely will keep you all up to date as far as what's happening. We have a door that's opening up in 13 months. that we can either walk through, we can stay here if that's where the Lord wants to lead us. We don't know about rent yet, if it's going up more. If it does go up, could we go someplace different? Or could we find something that's out there just waiting for us? And I too feel like the board has talked for the past several months about this open door that's coming up, and that's why here this summer we painted. We started to make things as best as possible here. The new norm coming about, really working on mystery, because we knew that when people went, that was our best advertising, the mystery, and it looks like that's what happened by people talking about what mystery was all about. So I guess the best thing for you, and we specifically talked about having the board come in and talk, because you as the DT family need to keep us in prayer, need to keep Dramatic Truth in prayer. We need more families, we need more students to be coming in, because the more that come in brings in more money into the studio, so that we can look at the possibilities of finding something that is larger and maybe even a better location for our families. So, but we've done a lot on that, and I think that was about it.
Yeah. One last thing, just to prove the best kept secret in Kansas City. Miss Liz and myself and Raphael we were in front of the city council of Kansas City, Missouri 3 weeks ago or something. And of the 8 or 10 people in there, half of them knew her. I mean, and even the lady on my far left on the city council has been in here. So people know us, but we just still need to get more and more and more. So any helps, and like you said, prayer is just greatly appreciated. So I'll give it over to them.
Okay, thanks, Buster. Yes.
I don't know if this is a good, I can wait if it's better to wait, but
If you have a question.
You're leaving, I want to ask.
Oh, no, I'm not leaving. I'm going to talk. Do
Okay.
you have a
Just
question?
about, naive question, this is probably,
No questions
very
are naive.
basic, but I'm very new to this scene. So I know there's other dance kind of academies in the South KC area, and I'm sure they have similar challenges, some similar challenges, and I wonder if you have talked about shared space, or, look at what they're doing, what partnerships might be possible.
We haven't talked about to any other ballet companies, right now. Just mainly looking at what's out there, kind of locating where they're at, so that we don't get right on top of them, type 2. And there are other academies that are out there that may not be walking in the same vision that Dramatic Truth might have. So I know Liz and I have talked at different times about maybe partnering with a different type of academy, more dealing with not just ballet, but maybe the arts or something else, different types of arts too. So we've thrown around a lot of different things as far as thinking about it. We're kind of like just really looking. I'm not a business person, I'm a teacher. But coming in, I have felt like when you're a teacher, you are a business person, because you're running your own classroom and you're working with your students. So coming in here, just looking at a lot of different possibilities, and kind of like really asking for prayer. We've got a lot of parents here that have a lot of gifts that we need to tap into, and we have done some of those, and people have stepped forward. So if you know of anybody or can help us in that way, we're all on board to hear from you.
And in terms of like the performance versus the practice space, like this is the practice space, you do some performances here, but then like the mystery. Christmas.
Mystery, we need space, it's specifically mystery, because I don't know if you know about theater, but we have a fly space up above the stage.
Yeah,
Fly space is where curtains,
right.
you can go fly way up, so you need a very large space for that. And so there's only specific venues in the Kansas City area that actually have that. Avila was one of them that does have that facility. And so when we're looking at even the possibility of doing that, we have to have a roof that's quite high, so
Right.
that we can even possibly do something like that.
So but that might be possible, have like a shared performance space, even though the actual practice spaces are.
Exactly.
Because the parents don't mind driving 2 or 3 times a year farther.
Exactly.
Like Avila.
The one thing though where I'm looking at is if we have that space, like we have our Black Box Theater, we can rent that out.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't sit there. And also if you do have that space, it would be used as an actual rehearsal area or a class area.
Which is much better.
Yeah.
Well, and having your own performance space cuts down a lot on the actual rehearsal time that you need before a big production, because you can set your lights up 2 or 3 or 4 weeks ahead. You can have your set there and not have to move it in. It relieves a lot of the logistical burdens if you just have it be proprietary.
Yeah,
So-
so a lot of just different things like that. How can we be most practical? I mean, in an ideal world, what would do the best thing, so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, you want to talk first?
Great, yep. So, if you have been at DT in the past, you know that we just kind of soldier on during the summer as normal classes, normal thing, and then everything gets a little nuts in August because we don't do as many of our younger child sessions because we have our big dance intensive. But this year, Miss Karen's going to talk about the fun stuff we're going to do for the 2As and below instead of regular classes. And the reason we're doing that is we want to offer an opportunity to explore some different dance venues, find some different gifts, some different delights, some different interests in different kinds of dance, as well as give you some breathing room. It's nice not to have to go to ballet every once a week and you're like, oh, we're at the pool, we got to pack up and leave because we still have ballet every Wednesday afternoon, or things like that. So we want the summer to be a refreshing time where you're energizing your children, are delighted in dance instead of, okay, we really need a break. So, but she's going to talk about that. For those of you who have older dancers, just a couple here, the 2Bs and above, so this would be Lila and above, will continue to have normal classes in June and July. It's especially important for those 2Bs because they're getting ready to test into upper school. I know they're all very excited. And then during August, what we will do is offer a 2B, so this is during our dance intensive, our longer, for those of you who are new families, this is our big 3-week intensive. It's very traditional for ballet schools to do a 3-week summer intensive, attracting students from all over the country who want to learn under our teachers, who want to take their master classes. We get several people who come in from all parts of the country. And so it's part of bolstering a good dance curriculum is to go other places during the summer. And so we do that as well. So we have a 3-week intensive in August.
No, July.
I'm sorry,
July.
the big one? I'm sorry, yes, July. Sorry.
We close down August.
Yes, right. August is when we start fall, so sorry. So in July, we'll have, instead of having our regular 2B, 3A, 3B, 4, and 5 classes, we'll have a 3-time-a-week conditioning class where it's just giving you your workout, maintaining your tone, keeping your tendus and your plies, and keeping your technique good, as well as offering drop-in opportunities should you not choose to partake in the actual intensive. So those are your options for the upper school in July, and then in June, July for the littles, again, we won't have regular classes. We'll do a lot of fun camps in June into July and then take a break in July for the younger students. So Karen is going to talk about camps.
I'm one of those parents that, I'm from Massachusetts, so my daughter found Dramatic Truth online when she was 16. And that's when we first came out and met Liz. Now she's 27. So we do get people from all over the country, so it's really exciting to see, actually all over the world. We've had people come in from other countries. So I'm going to talk to you a little about the camps. One of the things, I'm the production manager here at Dramatic Truth. I've run a theater company back on Cape Cod, Massachusetts since 2002. And so that's where I'm familiar. Also as a stage manager with Nutcrackers since the 90s up in Hyannis, Massachusetts. The Kennedys are from. Everybody thinks I knew them, but I did not. And what we're doing this year is kind of exciting. Is we're doing summer camps, and so like Abby said, instead of having to come once or twice a week, you get to get everything like in 1 week. Okay. So the one that I'm doing, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. There's a couple of them for younger students. Like I'm going to be doing the Many Tales of Pete the Cat, and that is for 5 to 8-year-olds. And the nice thing about this is actually I do theater. So for that one, it's going to be weaving music and movement into learning into the different stories from Pete the Cat and learning about things with their bodies and using their bodies and their voice and their minds. I'm also going to be doing another camp for 9 to 12-year-olds, I believe it is, called Reader's Theater, which is a different form of theater. And so I'll be working with those students, and basically that is learning how to use your voice and to go ahead and to perform. We'll be doing another camp, Get Your Feet Wet dance camp. That one right there, you don't have to have any dance experience, so for children or students that want to come and just experience what dance is all about, they're going to experience using different dance styles. They'll be doing jazz, ballet, contemporary, hip-hop, musical theater, Irish step, and everything else. And Miss Caitlin will be teaching that one. I'll be teaching the Reader's Theater and the Pete the Cat camp. And then she's also going to be doing the youth worship. That one, that you will have to have had some dance experience to be able to join that. But at the same time, too, she's going to be going through that, and they'll be touching on all different types of dance styles, such as ballet, jazz, hip-hop, musical theater, Israeli dance, a lot of different things for that. And that is a youth intensive. She's also going to be doing her princess camp again. Usually it runs 2 days. This year it's going to run 3 days. And that's for the littles, 3 to 7-year-olds. And they're going to be doing new ballet steps. And she's going to have different stations, one called Twirltopia, one called Creativity World. We'll be doing arts and crafts. So there's a lot of different things that your children can get involved in. These are mainly in June, and then I think the first week of July, and then we get into the main big intensive. So I definitely would look at that. What we're hoping is a lot of more people will be involved. One of the exciting things is that we're going to be working with the Missouri Parent Educators, and which their conference is coming up. The homeschool conference is coming up in April. Some of you go to that, and they usually have, I don't know, like 1,200 people that are coming through, families, and we're going to be putting a flyer in their bag so that they'll have an opportunity to look at what we're going to be showing them. This is really exciting because now we're also moving into different types of arts too, which is one of the things in my love is theater. That was one of the things I wanted to kind of talk to you about as far as camps.
So this is, I'm just gonna guys, I'm gonna pass this around. We're just
It's kind of a rough draft right now.
It's a rough working draft. Our wonderful Rich Powers is responsible for this glorious piece of publishing, but this is gonna be a 2-page front and back flyer that's gonna go into every single Missouri Parent Educator packet when the families register. And so that is going to be really fun to, again, get the word out, get people encouraged to come in, to try new things, to come see us. You know, we're kind of hidden back here, you know, at the end of this strip mall, kind of, you know, so you can get here from Red Bridge, but, you know, the highways kind of, and the crossings kind of cut us off and isolate us a little bit, so we need exposure. So we'll have that flyer ready later. Next week we'll have copies available. We'll have a poster size that you can put up at the library. We'll have, as well as the front and back flyer that you can hand to friends or anybody who would be interested. Again, with the idea of getting them to come and do a limited time exposure here at DT, and then consider coming on for bigger, longer periods of time for next semester.
So, do you want to talk about that?
Yes.
That's a big thing, and then I'll jump back in.
Okay, so Dramatic Truth always does a fundraiser every spring. In the past, we've done coupon books, we've done coloring books, we've done other things that were a little more labor intensive on the parents' parts because it's lots of coupons or lots of coloring books, or the logistical part of it, or just the quantity was a little bit daunting. And so we have hearkened on, because of Karen's brother-in-law, Mike Big, we've been exposed to an idea that we think is actually going to work a lot better. And that is to use the spring production, use the spring time to get ads from the Christian community and the business community who are interested in reaching the parents that we reach. We have a really wonderful niche. We have a lot of IHOP connections. We have a lot of TDA connections, co-op connections, large church ministry connections, and there are businesses that want to appeal to those people. Orthodontists, plumbers, architects, lawyers, landscapers, people who want Christian people to come be their customers. And so what we're doing for our fundraiser this year is asking every family by April 19th to sell $75 worth of ads in what will then be our program for the spring performance, anything the company does throughout the summer, and then including Mystery of Christmas, all the way till April of 2020. So they really get 12 months of advertising exposure. Anytime we pull a program out for a production, their ad will be in there. This is Christ Preps. Now this is 4 or 5 years development. Ours won't be this fat unless some of you are just really driven to do this. But this will give you an idea. We will have a little bit more information, bios on our company members. We'll be able to put each event in the middle and so that it's always current. We'll have a cover, for each individual program. But then most of it will consist of advertisement that will be visible for the whole year. So something like this, for example. And so for one price, they're purchasing a year's worth of advertising. Again, a lot more effective than something that's just a blanket email where they're targeting the kind of people they want to reach. So if you look at the letter that was your second piece of paper, you'll see that your prices are here, and you can see that it's not going to be a big deal to sell $75 worth of ads at all.
This was the ad we put in the
Yep.
Price Prep.
Yep.
This is a $400 ad.
Yep.
Okay. So, boom, you got it done.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not going to be difficult to do that, really.
No, not difficult at all. And the great thing is that, the other great thing is that you don't have to do anything except present the letter, write your student's name or one of your students' name at the bottom, and then wait to check the Google link to see if they've purchased the ad. And so there's no money handling on your part, there's no product handling. All of the labor will be done by the customer online, actually. We have a link on the Dramatic Truth website that's going public in about a week, but I'll show you it now because I have connections and I got it made public just for this meeting. But what it is under the school tab. Under the school tab, we now have an advertising purchase form where they will be directed to the actual purchasing form, and they will fill out their information. They can choose the size. They can put their JPEG in there. They can drop their JPEG file in it. They can pay online. They can do everything online, with the idea being much less work for you guys, much less work. So we're really excited about that. Again, helping the Christian Community Network in addition to raising some funds. Some of you ask, why do we do a fundraiser in the springtime? And the reason that we do a fundraiser every spring, and the reason that we have a required fundraiser, is to make sure through all of the ups and downs of the summer, because everybody's schedules change, we have camps going on, there are fewer regular classes, there are fewer regular attendees to classes, which is another reason that we wanted to do the camps instead, to still bring families into Dramatic Truth, except with not the summer-long time commitment. So the reason we do this is to make sure that we're on really sure footing, everything's taken care of and ready, and we have our finances in order for the fall. So that's why we're doing it now. Okay, so who's ready to sell $1,000 worth of ads? All right, there we go, right there. Okay, so if your family sells twice as many, and this is per family, not per child. Okay, so Mr. and Mrs. Brown, Mr. and Mrs. Hahn, they don't need to have, they don't need to be worried. It's $75 per family at this point. But if you guys sell twice as many ads, your kids get to fight over a $10 Chick-fil-A card. If they sell $250 worth of ads, then they can fight over a Dramatic Truth sweatshirt with their name on the back. So not just a generic one, but one with their name silk screened on the back of it. When you approach businesses about selling advertisements, you know, your chiropractor, VBS programs for churches, or Awana Ministries sometimes want to get the word out that, hey, we have this is a great place to do it. Landscaping, remodeling, schools, or co-ops, great ideas. When you approach them, encourage them, I recommend you put at the forefront that this is a year's worth of advertising that they're getting. So they're getting it, you know, in spring as people are looking to make winter commitments, and then again in winter time so that they can start planning for their spring and their summer. Now, one final thing about the advertising is that we will, we have a 1/16 size. Can you pull one of those out? We have a 1/16 size that we're calling Bravos. This is an opportunity that families will have not just in the springtime, but also in the fall to be included about this size. I mean, you can purchase whatever size you want, but this small or larger, and we call those Bravos. It's your opportunity to say, I'm so proud of you. Well done. So, you know, you're a wonderful dancer, you're a blessing to our family. Those are called Bravos. And those you can also buy for the year, or you will be able to buy them again before Mystery. If your dancer has a special role and you really want to recognize that in the program, you'll be able to do that as well. Okay.
One nice thing
And
that,
it counts towards your fundraising.
Yes, it does count towards your fundraising. Yeah, it does count towards your fundraising. You know, if you pay for the advertisement, that's fine. If the plumber pays for the advertisement, that's fine too.
one thing that, to piggyback on what she just said, this was we all went to the Steel Magnolias over at where were we, at the Carlson Center. But anyway, one of the nice things is that we will have the ads already that we'll constantly be using. So we're not going to put in these staples in the middle and then we'll just drop whatever program we're doing, whether it's the spring or Mystery or something else, right in the middle. So this will always be made, except for the front. We'll change at the front for whatever we're doing, and then we'll drop the information. So it's going to be really nice. So we're just constantly putting it out that way. And so I'm really, really, really excited about getting out there into the community so people will know about Dramatic Truth. All right, what I'm going to be talking to you about, the last thing here, is the spring show coming up. And if you were not in Mystery and you did not get a packet or something like this, this is a Reader's Digest version of the Spring Worship Concert. It's just a job description. I can give this to you right now. And what it's going to do is it's going to tell you what all these little yellow papers are up here on the, I know you weren't here, so I don't, did I give you one of those? Okay. Anybody else, if you need one? It's a job description. It's really good because it's not too much different than what Mystery was all about. You can pass that to the back. And it describes what we're doing. We really rely on our families to help us because doing these types of productions require a lot of people to jump in and help. So I want to talk to you just a little bit about Abide in My Presence. That's the program that's coming up. I apologize for what happened with Avila University at Goppert Theater. They are renovating, and so as of commencement, May 11th, the next day they're closing the entire building down. Now, at the point that we had already signed a contract, we were going to be doing it on the 17th, 18th, and they were not. We were going to be able to get in there. But I got a phone call a few weeks ago and told us that they're shutting down for the next 12 months, maybe even longer, which means we already had Mystery tentatively plugged in there. So now we have to look for another place for Mystery and for Spring Show for 2020. So if any of you are doing with theater or anything, you're always looking 6 to a year out, even further out, to go ahead and get your venues. But anyway, I want to talk to you a little bit about the Spring Show. There will be an information packet that will come out about the actual rehearsal times and when the show, information about the show and what your children need to bring and not bring when we actually come there. But right now I just want to give you what little information I do know about times. So normally we were going to have this on a Friday, Saturday. Now we have it on a Saturday, Sunday. So on May 4th, that's when we're going to actually have a dress rehearsal. And what we'll do, we have 74 students that are in the show. So approximately right now, I'm telling you, it's call time. Call time is when the students are supposed to be at the actual theater. Is going to be 9:45 in the morning. And then at 10 o'clock, what I will do with the students is I will talk, well, maybe 10:15, I will be talking to them a little bit about the do's and do nots on the stage. All 74 students should be there, because then at that point, what we do is we run curtain call, because that's the only time I have all the children together. Curtain call usually takes about half an hour to 45 minutes, roughly, with 74 students, trying to show them how to come across the stage and do whatever they have to do. After that, we are going to run level 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B in that order and rehearse. So it'll roughly be around 12:30 by the time the little ones, the lower school, are done with rehearsal. So basically you're talking about 9:45 to 12:30, which isn't bad. It's like 2.5 hours or something like that, that those students have to be there. Then they can go home. Their costumes, though, have to stay at Avila. As a matter of fact, this year we're not allowing costumes to go home at all. Costumes are coming in. When they come in, we will fit the students and then make sure everything's okay, make adjustments, or do everything we have to do, and then we will go ahead and tag their costumes and put them in the costume room. And we will transfer them over to the Avila University. And so the nice thing about that is my concern is about, even though you did buy the costumes, if you take a costume home and your daughter or your son decides, I want to put that costume on, and then they're drinking grape juice and they're like, oh my gosh, let's don't do that until after the show. So we'll take those over. Then after that, level 3 and up, around 12:15, they will continue to rehearse in the actual order of the show. Now, while the little ones are rehearsing, the older ones will be warming up. So they'll be doing bar and getting ready. And then after that, we'll go ahead and rehearse. We have 1 day to rehearse the entire show, whereas Mystery we had 4. So you can see that you might say, oh my gosh, my older ones are there for a long time. Well, it's 1 day, because we have to do everything in a day. As a matter of fact, Ms. Dimmel will be coming in, I think, at 8 in the morning to start working on lighting. So all of this has to be done. The next day, call time will probably be around, we're roughly thinking 12, because it's a 2 o'clock show. And at call, what the students have to do, they not only come in and warm up, but we also have time for worship, and then the doors open a half an hour before. So really, they're only there for about an hour and a half. Your children will come in with makeup already on and their hair already set. So that should be finished. And all this information will come out. So I'm just kind of giving you it right now. And then the doors open a half an hour before that. And then roughly the show lasts about 2 hours with an intermission in between. And then we'll have a little bit of time for the kids to have a little bit of downtime, not a lot. We don't want people to leave, because then we have a 6 o'clock show. So it kind of goes from 2 to 4, and then it starts right at 6, and then call time would be 2 hours before, so they have to be there. So that kind of gives you an idea. Well, up here I have jobs. We really need help. Now, if you were here at Mystery, this was 3 times as big, so this is really small compared to what I had before. But if you could sign up for ushers this time it's going to be the tickets. We do not have where we're going through the ticket recital ticketing like we did, or dance recital ticketing before. So actually we're going to have paper tickets that we're going to go ahead and print off. So you can buy those tickets at the front desk, or you can buy tickets actually at the theater. Tickets are a lot cheaper. Adults will be $15, children will be $10 for 12 and under, and also for seniors and for military. So ushers, basically you're not having to worry about taking somebody down to an assigned seat, but it is going to be first come, first serve. So the doors open a half an hour earlier, and we are telling people you cannot go in and put your coat down. Any coats that are sitting there to save seats, they're going to be in the lost and found, because we're just moving everything out. It's just that you just have to be there early so you get front line, and you move on in. At Avila University, you don't have to be at the very bottom. Sometimes it's better to be up higher, because it goes down. You're looking down onto the stage. So we have 2 more for the 6 o'clock show here. Over here, concessions. I only need, we got 2 there. Okay, so I need somebody for the 6 o'clock concession. We're selling food and drink. Right now we don't have much product at all. This person's we're just gonna tie in with this here. So we need 1 person to sell product, and these 2 groups are gonna work together. Selling tickets. Here at 6 o'clock, you would be just working in the ticket booth before the show, selling, and then once done, you can go on into the show and watch. Now here we have green room moms. This is really important. As Miss Camille over here did green room, I think, what, 6 times or something? Yeah, she was signed up for 2 and she was there all the time because she goes, I love being up here with the kids. This is for the boys. I need men. Okay, so here, if you're a dad, a level 1A, 1B, 2A, or 2B, these are a lower level. They're going to be in the McKeon room. I need like 1 guy in there with the boys. There's only 9 guys in this group right here. Unlike the girls over here, level 1A, 1B, and 2A, I believe there's like 24, 25 at that group. So I would like to have 3 moms in there each time. Now here I have rehearsal. I like to do that because I want the moms to be in there and kind of get used to it, or it just helps to have, and that way some moms can say, well, I can't be there, I'm going to drop my child off, I'll come back and pick them up, and that's fine, because we'll have a mom there that's going to be doing this. And then the last,
And Karen, that's only till about 12:30.
yeah, it's only during that time yes, from like 9:45 to 12:30, it's just during that time. Once they're done, then they go. They take off their costumes, you help them with that, you have everything hung up on the hangers, get everything put away, and then once those children, and you'll be checking them in and checking them out, you can release them. And then the last will be the little ones, 2B, 3A, and 3B girls. Those are not little, I mean, they're, what, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 11, but I still would like 1 mom to be up there. And if you're familiar with Avila, this is the green room, which is above the stage. And I would like at least 1 mom to be there to help them. And then right next to is a room called the mirrored room, which has like 22 seats in that, and that's where level 4 and up will be. They don't need a parent up there, but it's nice to have that. And then our older boys, they're going to be in a room right below the stage. It's called the trap room. And there's only 5 guys that are older, and they're in a lot of different dances, so it's a perfect spot for them to be there, not running into little boys, which is what they did at Mystery, all ran into each other, and they don't need any dad right there either. There also will be no cast party this year, because just don't have enough time. It's usually be between the 2 shows. But what we are going to do, we would like to do, we've talked about this, is have an end of the year party here at Dramatic Troupe, where all the families can come together, and maybe we can get the DVD and stuff, so we can go ahead and, I hate that word stuff, sorry, DVD, and bring that so the kids can see what happened at the spring. So, and just a time of fellowship before we actually end the school year. Do you have any, there would be, like I said, first come, first serve. There will be no, if you have like handicap, people can't sit in that area. But if people are handicapped, or let us know, we can make sure that we have space for them for sitting there, or for wheelchairs or anything like that we can do. Are there any questions as far as the spring show?
So with the green room, girls' green room, so the rehearsal,
Right.
that's a different person than the regular shows in the green
Right,
room?
it can. Usually in Mystery, this was the first time we ever did it, we had, if you were going to be a green room mom during a show, we had you be a green room mom in rehearsal.
Right.
But then, if you know, you are required during Mystery to volunteer for 12 hours. Here, we do not have a requirement for that for this spring, but I still would love people to volunteer just for one thing. So yes, if you're here for the rehearsal, you don't have to be here for this. You can. You can. I mean, the nice thing about the rehearsal is you're going to really rehearse what green room's like.
Right.
Because here what you're going to do, if you're in any of these with the green room, you're going to have to stay with those children during the show, take them through the back hallway, get them to stage right or stage left, stay there, they do theirs, take them back, and then wait with them, and then they bring them back for curtain call. Okay, so the little ones are only in one dance.
With the exception of like
I
one or
think two people, yeah, and but those, I believe, are in 2B, and they're upstairs in the green room. So any other questions? Yeah, Joanne.
Do little ones have any other rehearsals before May 4th?
It's in their, other than in their classrooms? No, I don't think so. Not the little ones, no. It's a lot different, a lot simpler than this version. Any other questions? Oh, if you do sign up, if you could just write your email address on there also, so I can contact you and I'll just have an idea. We do not have, like, for a lead usher or lead, our house manager is going to be the person that will be overseeing that and touching base with, if you're an usher or if you're in any of these right here. And then the green room, I'm asking, once you come in here, to check in with me as far as station so I know what students are here. And you will have a check-in sheet for students to be checked in, and then release them to their parents, because once they're in your care, you're responsible for those children. So, is there anything else?
Yeah, I was just gonna give a couple of points about Jonah, which is Miss Caitlin's
Oh, yes.
show, which is still slotted here in the black box on May 10th, dress rehearsal, and then May 11th, 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. It's only about a 30-minute show, and what we did, if you did the Christmas show, was we have a food and fellowship time in between, give those kids some protein. Please don't everyone bring powdered donuts. And I believe that Rachel Collins or another, I can't quite remember who was put in charge of making a sign-up sheet, but there'll be a sign-up sheet to bring some food to hang out in between. It's a good downtime and food time for those little ones who need a snack afterwards. But there'll be lots more information coming out about that. But that's a little bit different than the big show.
Right, and the one big thing there is we don't have volunteers for that. We actually have our students, Dramatic Truth, get an opportunity to work backstage and do what you would be doing backstage by helping the little ones, also by doing anything with the stage crew. And it's a really great opportunity for the little children to look up to the older children and to work together.
All right. Are there any questions? I know that was a massive amount of information to come and be like, it's Saturday, seriously. But we're happy to go over anything else again, or you can email student accounts if you have any questions. And don't run out and ask your businesses this week. Give us just a few more days. We're still troubleshooting some things about the webpage, making sure that all of the processing works the way we want it to work. You know, what I want and what the computer does, making sure that actually happens. So give me about another week, and then we'll send out an email saying, hey, now you can tell businesses about us. So, and like I said, I'll be sending out a Google link to a spreadsheet, like a Google Doc or a Google spreadsheet, where you can see your family name and how much every week that you've accrued in advertising. So it'll be very clear when you're like, okay, done the bare minimum, so I'm good, because that's all I can do right now, which is fine. Or, hey, we're almost there, $25 more, and we'll get that, we'll get that hoodie. So we'll be doing it that way. Any questions? Thank you all very much for partnering with us, for helping make DT a great place to be, and for helping us make the ministry possible that God's called us to. So blessings on you.
These are opportunities when we go around again. We talk about we want to display our technique to the Kansas City area, and people see if they're interested in coming to what we're doing here. And like I said, it's like the best kept secret here. The technique here is phenomenal. And sometimes when you pull in the parking lot, you might like, right, when you look at the outside, but then when you come in here, it's like the best kept chicken place, you know? You go there because the chicken's so good. The building may not look so great, but the chicken is awesome. That's what it is here. So we need more families to be coming in here. So please pray for our company members and our youth. We have our youth company and we have our training companies. We have 3 companies that are here that go out and spread the gospel through dance. And we need to keep them in prayer.